Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Organize Your Life. I am so excited. My name is Janet Taylor, and I have been an organizer for over, I'll just say 25 years. I am excited because I have Kimberly Harrison Neal, and we're going to be talking about the blended family and how you can be more organized if that is you. But before we get into our conversation, I just want to give you a little bit of background because Kimberly is a fellow professional organizer, and you know how I get excited when I have conversations with my colleagues. So, Kimberly and her husband Larry are the owners of the Modern Stewart. Larry is a licensed contractor specializing in the installation of their custom systems and the electrical field. He took the leap of faith and began a business in 2013. But it took Kimberly, 6 months to transition. She started offering personal assistance on a limited basis in January of 2014. As local business picked up and fast, professional organizing services were added, and the demand and constant requests from their clients continued. Kimberly officially resigned from her 9 to 5 in July of 2014, and little by little, they niched out a life that they enjoy and allowed them to pour into their family.
Yes,
Kimberly,
yes.
welcome. So, I would like for you to start just by sharing, your blended family dynamics.
Sure. And again, thanks for having me. Myself, I have a son, and Larry actually has two sons. And so together we've co parented three young men.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting, but I know for me it'd be like, oh my goodness. So, what are some of the things, because you're organized, so what are some of the things that maybe you didn't think about or weren't prepared for? You felt you weren't prepared for?
Yeah. So I definitely was not prepared for managing this newfound dynamic as far as schedules. Myself, I'd like to say I mastered, the single mom schedule between my 9 to 5 and with my son at that time, who was a middle schooler. Larry had partial custody of his boys. So, the initial thought was, okay, we've arranged for what weeks they'll be there, and this will be easy. However, that's not necessarily the case in particular. One thing that I didn't take into account is that with young people, um, their responsibilities and their freedoms change. So,
Okay.
what was a on and off, 1 week on, 1 week off, then turned into I'd like to join band, right? I'd like to participate, in this extracurricular activity and in this sport. And when you have three young people plus, two adults, and people coming and going, and you're trying to set up a successful household schedule. That's one of the things I specialize in is household management. From that experience, it can be quite challenging. You know.
Mm. So, what are some of the things that you learned, but also you incorporated your, household management strategies that have helped you really navigate the blended family?
I would definitely say flexibility. Oftentimes, when we think about being organized, it gets a bad rep because people think that it's rigid. But you do not have to be rigid to be organized, right? You just have to be, in my opinion, two things, which is patient and
Hmm.
constant, right? Actually, the opposite.
Hmm.
So, for instance, if we have a child that 1 week, I would say, for instance, we would have a house full, right? So that was our easiest week, to be honest with you. I could easily delegate who's on dinner, who has the dishes, right? Who's walking the dog, things like that. But then when the household would transition to four or maybe even three, right? Just Larry myself, and my son. Then you have to decide where you're going to step in, and where you're going to ask the other children to step in. And you have to take into consideration their thoughts, their feelings, their makeup. One constant thing we battled was, well, it's not my week, right? It's not my week. But it's not that simple when you're dealing with these, shifting schedules. And it's not just as simple as, well, they're not here. Okay, well, am I stuck doing it, you know, more than them? Because, for instance, my son was here full time. And so we had a schedule with the dog walking that the boys one would walk the dog in the morning, one would walk the dog in the evening. And so it required for myself to even flex and say, hey, well, I'll take so and so's place the week that they're not here, right? My husband, well, I'll, you know, cook on these days, so that we could be understanding. And then when we felt that the child's um, level of responsibility and understanding should be changing and shifting, we challenge that. It's okay for you to do another day, right? When we're all pouring into this household, right? And so, working through those dynamics was challenging, but I would say that it was definitely rewarding. Both of my daughters-in-laws are very happy that their husbands can cook and clean and do everything. So
Oh, wow. I was going to ask you the ages, but you said daughter-in-law. Okay.
we started out this journey. We had two 15-year-olds and a 6-year-old turning 7. And now they are, because they're only 9 months apart, the two older boys. Now they are 29, 28, and then the youngest, he's 21. He's not married.
Wow.
He's in school. Yeah. So I like to say
Wow.
we were successful. We were, we like to say that we believe we were successful.
But yes, I mean, if your daughter-in-laws are saying thank you, then that means that you did something to really give them some strategy. Because sometimes that's a reason. Sometimes some women like, "Mm, I can't list." So wow, congratulations, Kimberly! Yay! See, then that's another little thing that you can do as well. So,
Yeah.
so how can someone who is interested in your services, because you and your husband, and you should follow them on social media as well. You do so many wonderful projects, but also, maybe there's somebody out there who's a blended family or just needs some strategies because, right now we're in that back to school season and people are just like, what do I do? So
Yeah,
how
it's,
can,
it's a challenging time.
so how can, people, who are watching this get in contact with you?
I would say the best way to contact us is through our website at themodernstewart.com. There's no obligation to submit a form for a discovery call. We'd like to spend time with people before they invest in our service and their time. We understand that it's a commitment. So that initial call is 45 minutes and it's free.
And of course, those of you watching will know I will have a link down in the description below directly to Kimberly's website. Well, Kimberly, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Janet.